Hey guys, today I'm going to record this video here for you to hopefully help you get started. Hey guys, I'm just creating this video to help you get started with your assignment of either the smiley face or the crazy clown, something to that extent. Again, I'm going to start this here at the beginning and run you through the assignment. Hopefully this will clear up any questions you may have, especially since Khan Academy was not running during a few class periods here today. So first thing, once you're here on our Canvas page, we're going to go into our Get Started section. And our Get Started section, we're going to go into our Weekly Lesson 1. And we're going to come down here to Weekly Lesson 1, Module 2, create a smiley face or crazy clown. So when you click on there, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look here at direction number 1 where it says click here for today's lesson. So we're going to click on that first one.
Sam, can you please come to the front office?
Now, once we're here, what you're going to notice here, if you did not join our Khan Academy class in the previous time, what you're going to do here under direction number 1, you're going to go to letter A where it says click here to join our 7th grade class. You're going to click on the link here. This will take you out to Khan Academy. What you're going to have to do when you get to Khan Academy, you're going to have 2 choices here. You're only going to notice one that we can use. It's going to say join a 7th grade computer literacy MP1, so you can click on there. If you have another button directly underneath that says just continue because you're already in Khan Academy, you could also click on that. Once you click on one of those, you're going to then make sure that you're using your school district's Google account. So you need to sign in with Google, and you're going to allow that. What that will do is sign you into the course. Once that's all clicked through, you should notice up here in the top right corner, you should notice your username. And on yours, since it's a student account, you'll notice that I will be assigned as your coach. Again, my screen does not show that, but you should take note of that. Okay, so now that you're signed into Khan Academy, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our Google Doc. And what we're going to do, we're going to scroll down here to our assignment section. Now, what I've done, and I'm sorry that I jumped over, but notice direction number 2, it says click here to review the JavaScript canvas and ellipses. So if you're not quite sure how to use or create ellipses in JavaScript, take a look at the video. What I've done here in the assignment section, as you'll notice in assignment and direction number 1, it says practice creating ellipses in Khan Academy by making a smiley face or crazy clown using the ellipse code, fill colors, and background color. You will also note that, guys, we need to be adding notes to your code there. So, again, I placed another video in here where it says to help you get started. What we're going to do, though, we're going to come down here to letter B, and we're going to click here for a blank JavaScript canvas. When we click on this, it'll bring you out to JavaScript, and you'll notice you're on a blank canvas. What you should take notice up here in the top right corner is that you are signed in. And notice it should have your username right there. So that's very important. I'm going to go back to my Google Doc here real quick. Some of your requirements. Letter A, create a face or a clown or other type of creature using ellipses. So no, it does not need to be a face or a clown. It could be, whatever other type of creature you'd like to. Make sure that you add a background color. Add fill color to your shapes. Add notes to identify the parts of your character. Very important. Letter E, save to Khan Academy as face or crazy clown. When you're all done, you're going to take a screenshot and submit to your to our Canvas page for 10 points. Notice when you are taking a screenshot and submitting it, this is what I want to see. I want to see your name. I want to see some of your code. Obviously, it might not be all of your code, but I do want to see your code. And then also the image that has been created in your code. So that's what I need to have submitted. Okay. Let's take a look here how we can get started. Now, in order to get started, remember, you can check out any of those other videos to help you out with laying out the JavaScript canvas. But what I want to do here, I'm just going to demonstrate how to create the background. So in order to get a background color here, we're going to type in the code background, B-A-C-K-G-R-O-U-N-D, and then put in your parenthesis. It's just a shift and then number 9. You then could come through the color palette and you could choose a color that you like. It does not matter to me what you choose. It's yours. Next, I'm going to create, just as an example, the start of a face. I'm going to make a very large face here. Okay, so I'm going to leave an extra space because I'm going to use that row 3 in just a moment. So in order to get a very large circle, I'm going to use my ellipse code, E-L-L-I-P-S-E. I'm going to put in my parenthesis. And now I know that I'm going to have this centered on the canvas. So I'm going to go over 200 pixels on my x-axis. I'm then going to come down 200 pixels along the y-axis. So remember, the y goes 0 at the top, 400 at the bottom. So I'm going to place it right here in the exact center of the canvas. Now I want this to be a large circle, so I'm going 300 pixels wide by 300 pixels tall. And there you go. You can see my very large ellipse. Again, this was the x, the y, the width, and then the height. Now the reason I left this blank line here on row 3, I want to use a fill color. The fill color will allow me to change the color of any of my shapes. So in order to change the color, you have to put your fill above your shape. So I'm going to type in fill, F-I-L-L, parenthesis, and notice I get that same color palette as I did with my background. You could pick and choose any color you want. I'm going to make mine look like a crazy fluorescent green color. Okay, now next I'm going to place 2 eyes on here. I'm going to place a left eye and a right eye. Okay, so I'm going to use a fill color here for this as well. Maybe I'll make my eyes some color blue. There we go. And I'm going to make the left eye, so I'm going to use ellipse. And again, I'm going to go over about 150 pixels because, again, I know this whole thing is 400 pixels. Right here in the middle is 200. So I'm going to place my eye right about here on the X at 150. Then I'm going to come down 150 pixels. So again, it's going to go over about 150 and down about 150. So it's going to be placed somewhere right around here. I'm going to make my eye 60 pixels wide and 40 pixels tall. So there you go. Again, this was at 150 pixels over. And then it's also 150 pixels down. So that's the center of my eye. It is 60 pixels wide and 40 pixels tall. So that is my left eye. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start adding some notes here. In order to create a note or to add notes, all you do is use a //. And I'm going to label this left eye. There we go. Now I'm going to create another eye over here on the right-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to go ellipse. And this one I'm going to say it's at 250. Now I'm going to make some adjustments here to this in just a moment. So I'm going to say it's over 250 pixels, so it's just about 200. So about 250 is right about here. Again, it's going to be the same Y at 150 pixels down. It's going to be the same width of 60 pixels wide and the same height, 40 pixels high. And there you go. I'm going to label this one right eye. There we go. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, while I have you here, guys, I'm going to show you a few little tricks here to hopefully help you out. First off, you're going to notice my left eye. Maybe I don't like it quite at 150. So yes, I could always come through here and I could change it by typing in a different number. But notice when I click on a number, I get this tool right here. This tool above the number is called a number scrubber. And notice when I slide this number scrubber, if I slide it to the right, notice my 150 increases in value, but also notice that I moves over to the right because it's moving, it's a higher number, so it's moving across the canvas. If I slide it back to the left, notice my value is getting smaller and is going further to the left hand margin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide it to 130 pixels right there. Again, that's called my number scrubber. Okay. Now how about my right eye? Yes, I could slide this back and forth as well using my number scrubber. But what if you didn't want to use your number scrubber and you wanted an exact location? Well, remember, our left eye is 130 pixels across the canvas. Okay, so we know this is right here at 0, and this is now at the center of 130. Well, quick, easy mathematics. We know that this part of the canvas all the way across here is 400 pixels. So what if I took 400 and I subtracted 130? That would give me the location of this right eye, which should be 270. Now, by just doing that little math problem, you'll notice that my eyes are exactly symmetrical. Hopefully that helps you out. Okay, just a couple other quick things here. I'm going to put a note here on my face. I'm just going to label this face. Now, what I'm going to show you guys here, one more thing that I'm going to have you guys get to work here on your face or crazy clown. Let's say if I wanted to make an ear here. So let's say if I'm going to have an ear, but instead of showing up on the front of the, actually let me clear that off here a little bit. That didn't come out the way I wanted it. Let's say if I wanted an ear and I wanted to show up something like that. But I don't want to see part of this ear. So I don't want to see any of this part here. I just want to see it behind the ear. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so notice if I put it down here at the bottom, I'm going to give it a fill color, but I'm going to show you a quick little thing here. So let's say if I say ellipse, and maybe I want to bring the ear across like 50 pixels, and it's going to go down 200 pixels along the y-axis. I'm going to make it fairly big, so I'm going to say maybe 150 pixels wide. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to make it about 50 pixels wide and maybe 150 pixels tall. So there's my ear. Now, I don't want it in front of my face. I want it behind the face. So what you have to do, guys, remember, code reads from the top down. So what this line of code with my fill and then my ellipse for my ear, I need to place it above the face. So by placing it above the code line of the face, that'll put it behind the face. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to first make some room up here at the top for myself. So notice I just clicked up there and I entered 2 times. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight my code for my ear. Sorry about that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to use Control X. Notice it removes my ear. And then I'm going to come up here to row 3 and I'm going to use Paste, which is Control V as in victory. And there you go. Now my ear pasted up here at the top. And then I could do the same thing for a right ear. I could say ellipse. So instead of being at 50, I'll say 350. Instead of being, and then I'll put it at 200. Again, 50 pixels wide, 150 pixels tall. And there's my right ear. Maybe I'll put a note here that says right ear. So hopefully this helps you guys to get started here with your face or crazy clown here. A couple quick things here just as a review. Remember, we want to add a background. Your backgrounds belong up here at the top for now. 2, we want to have our shapes. Whatever your shapes are or whatever you're creating, make sure that your shapes also have fill colors. 3, make sure you're adding notes. As you guys can see, the // for all of my notes. And then 4, items that you want behind things, you want to bring up higher and the code lines. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, guys, when you are done, make sure you click on Edit Title. And you want to call this face or crazy clown or something. So I'm just going to call this face. And I'm going to save it. And save it again. Now, this face is now saved to my Khan Academy. What I'm going to show you next is how to retrieve this. And that'll be our last step of this assignment. So since this is saved, I'm just going to close this. Now, in order to retrieve my work here in Khan Academy, you need to get back to Khan Academy. So there's numerous ways you can get into Khan Academy. Probably the first and easiest way is through pretty much any one of our lessons. You're going to notice under the Resource and Materials section, I have put in a link that says Practice JavaScript Code here. So when you click on that, notice it will open up a blank canvas. I could have also done that by clicking here. Please click here for a new blank canvas. I could have also done it inside this lesson. When we came down here to our assignment, click here for a new blank canvas. They would all click to open up a new canvas. Now to get to our work, you're going to come up here to the top right corner and click on your username. Then you're going to go to Learner Home. Then you're going to come over here to the left to Profile. Once you go to Profile, then you're going to notice in your Project section, you can click on View All if there's quite a few, and then you will see all of your projects that you've created. Click on the one you want, and then you can go back to editing or continuing or finishing this. Hopefully this helps you out. I know this has been a long video, but it has been a very informative one. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Talk to you soon, guys.